first thing you want to try is draw near the origin. So that's the origin there. We can see. Well, I've activated the polygon too, and you now focus on the bottom right hand corner. Is when you look at the sides, it says 6 now, which is the correct number. Well, if you wanted to build a pentagon, say you want to press 5 and enter now, but for those who do not have 6, you can press 6 and enter. And then second thing is you always start with the center of the polygon of the hexagon we're drawing now. So click anywhere near here. Okay, so the second thing is you drag but don't click. Okay, just drag out. I try to be parallel with the red, which is the x-axis, and the inscribed radius you can see now is about 2300 millimeters, which is not correct because we need a 3000 millimeter radius. That makes it a 6000 millimeter diameter. So I type in 3000 and enter, and there you have this blue hexagon. It's quite big compared to Lisanne here. It's not too big because we're gonna cut it in half. So the second step is we go to the line tool, this little pencil on the top left corner, and it's very smart software that SketchUp offers. The snapping is automatically done for you. So you just go near the endpoint, one of the endpoints. Well, of course I'm going across in parallel direction to the right axis. So I start with this endpoint, so it snaps to it and turns green, the little dot. So once it turns green, you can click on that and extend it while it's orthographically along. So you can see the red line along the face, but running a parallel to the x-axis and all the way across to the opposite point, and it snaps to it. It says endpoint, and then you can click. So this is perfectly done to bisect the hexagon. So we only need half of this. The easiest way is to use your eraser tool, which is on the top left corner, this pink eraser tool here, and erase one of these 3 edges, and then it will get rid of the face and all the edges associated with that half of it. And then we have the base for the window display or the window to be built already, and you want to double check. You can always measure the length. Well, I'm not concerned about like the length of these 3 sides. All I wanted to do is to check that whether I have 6000 millimeters across, and look so we're good to go. Now we are about to bring it into a volume. Okay, so first thing is you need to know the height in measurement. Pull on this face and type in 600, so that's 600 millimeters in height. And you want to click, before you click, you want to press Control. That's a CTRL Control key. And you see a little plus sign next to the push-pull too. So when you now click again, you're not changing what you've done before. You're not changing the height of the first segment, but instead adding an extra one to it. And we want to type in 2000 millimeters, so that's the height of the window. And then okay, the last segment would be 300 in millimeters, and so you want to keep doing that and type in 300. So there you have the whole shape, whole volume, whole form of the window display. But we don't need that much depth to the sides, so we want to cut that in half again. So the next step would be to repeat what we did before when it was like a base. We could definitely have done that before we pull it, but it's just for demonstration. gonna show you this. It's the same deal that if we do this over, even in 3D forms, you can always draw lines by slapping to the midpoints or endpoints or any points you of your choice to cut or create edges or bisect anything that your design calls for. And just in that manner, well, make sure you go through the bottom too. From all of the sides, the 4 sides, top, bottom, left and right. And that would be just the same as what we did before. It's just to erase the back edges of all these faces. And there you go, you have this. Of course, I'm doing some extra work just to show you around how you could go about cutting a 3D form in the 3-dimensional space. Well, the last bit is that you have to draw in the lines that you need. Don't forget about these crease line or segments in the back of the window, because if you don't do it, well, later we're gonna make the windows, then it might not work if we want to add some depth to it or even changing details. So this is like a play safe way that I always do, is I try to keep all the faces in a collateral so they all have 4 sides. No matter what shapes they take, they always have 4 sides. That's one important principle in 3D modeling. The next step would be to do the windows. So now I activated my offset 2. Okay, it's really up to you how wide you want to go, but I am going to stick with just 50 millimeters to offset the windows. So, and we put it to the sides, like so, just like that. Of course, I don't have like a true window now until I go about and deleting these faces, right? So I just go delete them, and now you have like a 3-sided half a hexagon kind of shape now. One thing is that you can move, but then I've just changed my mind. I just want one more segment, say like that, and then I can always go say, didn't want to do 800, just do 600, and you can keep doing that for all the segments. It snaps automatically onto the edge of the endpoint that you want it to go to, so that gives more depth to the interior of the window display now. And in order to make sure that I have the correct face normal, that's what we call the direction of the positive face facing towards the camera, what I would go about into doing is say this forward. If you look at it, it's blue now, and I want to turn it into white. It's not about color. It's an indication of whether we have the positive or the correct direction of the face normal facing the camera. And what we want to do is right click on that, so RMB. Now I'm gonna reverse faces. You see that? Okay, if I keep doing it, I can sit here all day and flipping this face around. So it's a matter of judgment, not the operation. So you have to be able to tell whether it is the correct face facing upward like you wanted it to be, or whether it's blue face facing down or facing inside, which is not cool. So this is the operation you could do, is to flip the face or reverse the faces. And on the back I have it alright because it's always facing like to the front, to the audience, to the passerby. But on the sides we have, or even the back of it, we have a dark blue face. It's a negative face, so we will have to fix this before we save this and finish off the window case.